Stopped a hookup BC. He talked like a 12-years-old edgelord. Invited 32 meters back to my place. He was shy but felt we had chemistry. Cue to him non-stop saying good girl. You're gonna scream from my cock. Good girl. I'm ramming your vagina walls. You like that? Good girl. I know you want me raw dogging you blah 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 blah. Fucking non-stop bullshit. I ended our encounter immediately when he fucking spit on me when out of nowhere. What the actual fuck? I made it very clear at the beginning of our hookup I wanted very vanilla. No kinks. It's disappointing BC. He was very sweet and talked like a normal human before and after the encounter. But he took a promising night and squashed our chemistry with whatever bullshit crap he thought he had to say. I know that some folks might enjoy what he was saying, but for me it was such a turn-off. It felt like he was saying this shit BC. He felt like that's what he should be saying during a sexual encounter. It didn't even feel genuine on his part. Just a parroting of what he feels he should be saying, fed by alpha male shit. I'll rely on my vibrator for my future needs. At least my vibrator shuts the fuck up on command. Ladies, I like it when my partner moans a bit as I do stuff. Guys, apparently, oh yeah. Just like a fucking hot pocket, I'm the god emperor of processed foods. You like that? You little food services technician. I'm proud of you for stopping and removing yourself from him. Had something similar happen to me last year. He ended up also slapping me in the face. Without any sort of indication from me that I wanted this. Too bad more guys can't see how much they're shooting themselves in the ass with nonsense like this. His porn-fried attempt at being sexy is why the orgasm gap exists. Skull. Fucking no one is comin' to that. Vag walls raw dogging are the least sexiest ways he could have said that. Fucking spat on you. Oh boy, I'd end up in jail for assault if someone spat on me. JFC face vomiting. I am so sorry this happened to you. I'm guessing that his main source of sex education has been porn. Hooked up with a dude after a Halloween party a few years back. We weren't from the area, so we ended up in the backseat of my car. It was fun, but then he kept asking me to call him daddy, telling me he was my daddy, and it ruined it for me. Like, dude, we literally just met. Please stop. Cold sweat smile. At least my vibrator shuts the fuck up on command. Skull and crossbones are murdered by words. A guy the first used to casually sleep with slapped me in the face in the middle of an excellent session. That ceased all future encounters. I like some kink. But I won't tolerate that disrespect. I'm ramming your vagina walls. I am agog. I cannot picture someone saying this during sex. I would die from second-hand embarrassment. The spitting is much more serious and not funny at all. I'm so sorry you experienced this, and I'm so glad that you stopped it. Oh dear. Someone's idea of sex is what he saw in a porno. He spat on you out of nowhere. You should have called him a camel. My ex was like this. I hated it. Completely degraded me during sex and made me feel like a piece of meat. I'm a survivor of CSA via my bio father. And he knew that. Sex became so triggering I would avoid it at all costs and thought I was a sex repulsed ace. Even now, with an actual awesome, loving husband, I struggle to equate sex to love. I've also realized I'm demi. Not full-on ace. I enjoy physical affections with my husband, whom I have an emotional bond with, so sex has never really been a big thing to me. Was he a Pokemon? Because he hurt himself into confusion. Porn has really fucked up so many young guys' views of what's okay in sex. My interest in vanilla is close to zero, but if a guy would do to me what you've experienced, he'd be flying out down from my balcony. That's like a silica gel pack for sex. Dries everything right up. Ramming your vagina walls. That is something you say during DD game if the castle happens to be named Vagina. Otherwise, EW. I'm ramming your vagina walls. Girl by loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. That's embarrassing, and I really hope when the post-nut clarity wore off he went home, looked in the mirror, and reflected on his actions. Sounds like a man who watched too much porn and knows what women want despite women telling him that's not what they want. Oh, sounds so cringe. Sorry that you experienced that. I feel like I would have dried up faster than you can say Sahara Desert. My latest experience was that the guy kept saying, "Ooh, I want to keep you." The first time I thought it was very weird and that the guy was just excited. The second time he said, "Ooh, I really want to keep you," it just made me feel like an object. He also pulled my hair and put his hand on my neck trying to choke me a bit, which I do not like, and didn't say that he could do that. I was chatting with a guy who did the squeezes you tightly and strokes your hair emotes, and I told him I didn't like that the first time. Then the second time. And on the third time I said, "Sorry, I'm not interested." He didn't get it. He told me each time he would try to stop and then didn't. It was such a complete turn off from a 40-year-old man. I even said perhaps he could say, "I would love to give you a hug right now," or something more appropriate and not weird. If he can't learn that basic adjustment, I had zero hopes for actual sex. PSA for the guy's spit is not lube. Oh my god, that sounds awful. I hate that shit. In no way do I mean to demean the horrific experience that you had, OP, but I am absolutely fucking dead at I'm ramming your vagina walls, ha ha ha. Ugh. That's gross. Sorry your night was ruined. Especially in such a bizarre way. This sounds to me roughly equivalent to women doing daddy stuff. Ooh. You like that? Daddy? Etc. Which creeps me right the fuck out. I started laughing, then I remembered it's no fiction. Good girl. You're gonna scream from my cock. Good girl. I'm ramming your vagina walls. You like that? Good girl. I know you want me raw dogging you. Tell me he wasn't saying this while you two were having sex. I wasn't even there and am uncomfortable. Looks like he consumed too much porn. As soon as a hookup mentions raw dogging, the sex should immediately stop. It's potentially a warning sign for stealthing. I'm ramming your vagina walls has me rolling. What a fucking dunce. This is so disgusting. Reminds me of a time I was with my ex and out of nowhere he starts calling me a dirty slut and he said, "Yeah. You suck that dick like the whore that you are." We had never dirty talked ever, and I had never expressed interest in being called a whore or a slut, or generally degraded during sex. I called him out on it and he stopped, but man had a serious porn addiction, so I knew where all that came from. The whole unsolicited spitting on a person thing is so hilarious to me because it is completely insane. I've had a conversation with a friend where he just casually dropped he does this sort of thing. And I was stopped dead in my tracks and was like, wait. What? You just spit on her? Crazy. I find it so concerning that these guys are this oblivious to the fact that their bed partner is not having a good time at all. Like how? I don't get it.